Supper Club. Tonight we are very proud to present Miss Pam Myers and Mr. Stan Freeman.
Not overdo it. You're just going to have to guess which one I am. I'm not too sure that I was right to do what I'm about to do tonight. To tell the truth, I might have pulled a boner, because since my youth, I've always been a loner. Life is lovely alone. Life is groovy alone. I even like seeing a movie alone. If it's sad in that case, I like weeping alone. And you've so much more space when you're sleeping alone. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing an act or doing a play, people get in my way. No, your life isn't quite so complex alone. I even find I don't mind having sex alone. Things you do by yourself can be real good. You know best how to best make it feel good. Call me odd, call me strange, but by God I can't change. Let's just say that's the way that I am. But tonight, I'm doing it with Pam.
Our lifestyle I've just never known. Alone. You're living in some twilight zone. Alone. Well, I need 100 people just to help me get dressed, or keep me depressed. And I'd like 100 people when I get into bed. I don't care if they're dead. And I mailed 100 invitations out for the show. Yes, I mailed them, although what it was, I don't know, maybe yesterday. Got a house full of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. I'm aware of the dangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. But that's okay. And anyway, tonight won't be just any night. Tonight our paranoia we shed. Through fear and doubt, we think we've worked it out. And our analyst said, go ahead, do it. Tonight is a whole new ballgame. Our personal free for all game. We're ready to sail cause we got us. We've ironed our kinks and quirks out and praying the whole thing works out. But if we should fail, hell, we got us. No 100 people,
No soliloquizing. We find we like it better harmonizing.
the name of the game is teamwork.
Here's hoping we make the dream work. We're changing that
minus sign to
to
a plus.
So, what's to discuss?
As Cleopatra told Antony,
And as Orson Welles said to Sarah Lee, as Gertrude Stein said to Alice B, we got And good evening. We're Pam and I are very happy to be back in New York. We are New Yorkers who moved to California, about 7 or 8 years ago. We are a little
Sorry.
out of touch, but we are staying a few extra days to catch up on some of the things we've missed. We're planning on getting tickets Monday night for Merrily We Roll Along. And,
Stan has promised to take me to the Bonsoir.
right.
I've never been there.
I've been there. So I hope you've got your quarter ready for the downtown subway ride. Anyway.
I think it's going up to 35 soon.
Well, that's mayor beating for you, never get reelected. Anyway, why don't I can feel all this bated breath out there, just wondering. I'm sure they got up this morning because on how do these two get together? So we try to divide the lines equally. So why don't you tell them? Okay.
Well, now there is some idle curiosity about it, I'm
I
sure.
hope so. Okay.
Stan and I met this year doing a show in Los Angeles called Get Happy, and it was a review of Harold Arlen tunes. It was a very good show, I thought. We were in it, and Donna McKechnie was in it.
No, there are a lot of others in it too. Maybe that was the problem. Anyway, Harold Arlen, as you know, is one of our greatest songwriters. We had a problem. We opened at a small theater out there and got wonderful reviews, particularly the LA
Kiss
Times,
of Death.
which is sort of the counterpart of the New York Times. Then we moved to a large theater and got rotten reviews. So what
Really
happened
rotten.
was, well, it was very depressing, and Pam here went around, Mary Masochist went around singing all the, the torchies, very sad, heavy
Well, I
Harold
was
Arlen
into it.
songs. And me, Sammy Sunshine, went around singing happy. I wasn't depressed. I had another job waiting. So thought we, what a capital notion for a medley. The sad Harold Arlen songs versus the happy Harold Arlen songs. And it is this kind of thinking, ladies and gentlemen, that has made our country what it is today.
And Cabaret, what it is today.
I walk under ladders, number 13. Doesn't scare me, cause I'm wrapped up in a rainbow, and I'm riding on the moon.
But it's only a paper balloon, sailing over a cardboard sea.
But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Go lose that long.
The night is bitter,
That
the stars have lost
long
their
face.
glitter.
Go along and get
Wind
that
grows
long
colder.
face, Lord.
Suddenly you're older, and all because of the man that got away. No more is he there called. The writings on the wall, the dreams you dreamed have all gone astray.
You've gotta act a sim. You ain't the positive and eat limb. Mine ain't the negative and latch on to the affirmative and don't mess with Mr. In Between.
But my mama had told me when I was in pigtails, my mama had told me, she said, "Now, a man's gonna sweet talk and give you the big eye. But when that sweet talking starts, a man is a two-faced, a worrisome thing, he'll leave you to sing the
Fancy free, fancy free. Spring is here, but it can't catch me. I got the world by the string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a life, what a world. I'm in love today. I love everybody I see. And it's the Barnum and Bailey world.
just as phony as it can be. Down with love, the flowers, the rice and shoes.
Hip, hip, hooray for love.
Down with love, the root of all midnight
Who's
blues.
ever too blasé for love?
Down with things that give you that well-known pain.
It's a night for love.
Take that moon and wrap it in cellophane.
If we have to fight, let's fight for love, hooray.
Away.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Take it away. Give it back to the birds and the bees and the Viennese.
Somewhere there's someone.
I got a right to sing the blues. I got a right to feel low down. I got a right to hang around. Down around the river.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly.
If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why
You
can't
gotta
I
grab that rainbow while you still got your youth.
Life is short, short, brother.
Ain't that the truth? But there is no other.
Ain't it the truth? 'Cause when you're laid horizontal in
we're saying.
It's no time for the reaper to call.
No, we don't think we'll end it all today. Away with the river, away with the razor, away with the pearly gates, away with habituates, away with the second all.
Tell St. Peter to tell St. Paul.
Tell Mort Lindsay to tell Mort Saul.
Have Lucy Arnaz tell Lucy Ball.
Have Monty Python tell Monty Hall.
Charles Nelson Riley tell Charles de Gaulle.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. We're gonna take all our cares away. And we don't think we'll end it all. Not today, maybe November, but not today. Could be December or March or May, but definitely not today. Orders for it.
Okay, I have to get set up. Well, we really did develop Get Happy in a small theater in Los Angeles. There it's called Equity Waiver. Here they call it Showcase and Workshop. I call it a freebie. I've done too many of them, believe me. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't work for money anymore. I just can't get used to it. Although I've been involved in some very unusual projects doing this. Last summer I did one called Upholstered Pieces, and I don't know, it was about sofas or something, and it was with Michael Rupert. We played brother and sister. It was a very unusual role for me because I started out the show being dead. Then, through flashbacks, I became alive, and at the end of the show, I sang a beautiful song and killed myself. I love doing it. I never get to play roles like that. But the best thing about doing Equity Waiver is that everybody does it. So you meet great people. That's how I met Stan. And I met this guy who was the musical director of that show, and his name was Ron Abel. And he was very much into rock and roll. He traveled with Peter Allen and sang with him and played keyboards and everything. And now he's into musical comedy. He has written a show himself, and it's called Rockwell. And it's all the paintings of Norman Rockwell come to life. I know that Stephen Sondheim jumped the gun just a little bit with this technique of this show. However, I don't think there'll be a lot of comparisons these interpretations. I was particularly attracted to the painting of Rosie the Riveter because my voice has been called in the past, in the newspaper, a bullet, a subway rail, a laser, and a rusty stiletto. And those were wonderful reviews. So I decided I would just add a riveter to my collection. It's just how I am. I can't help it. I'm a human onomatopoeia, I guess. When I was born, I went, ah! My father says, let's name her Pam. Never thought that there were two big fights was right, but times are changing. There's no right or wrong, so while they're fighting, we're uniting to help them along. I don't mind it, in fact I enjoy my job and get behind it to help the good boys. Oh yeah, I'm on the payroll of Uncle Sam. They call me Rosie the Queen, Queen of the Riveting Machine. Every morning I'm here by the time I'm ready, and I'm awarding you dear it's Acclaimed. Oh yeah, it's not easy, 12 stories high, cause when you're drilling it's a skill and such a steady eye. I'm the best at the work that I do, don't doubt it. Must confess what I'm saying to you is true. I'm right at home who started this whole business about workshops was Lehman Engel. He was a conductor here in New York for Broadway shows for many years. And he would have these workshops for young composers where they could develop their shows. And he was a friend of mine. He kind of, what they say, discovered me. I was doing my senior recital at the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music, and he was there lecturing. So he introduced me to some people here. And in return, I would do these BMI workshops for him every spring. And in those, I sang songs by Ed Cleveland and Marvin Hamlish, who wrote Chorus Line. Tom Shepard, who is now a producer of wonderful Broadway show albums. Alan Menken, who wrote Little Shop of Horrors. And this guy, Maury Yeston, who wrote Nine. And it's very gratifying to have known all these people when they were starting out and see them be very successful now. On the stage of the Alvin, which is now the Neil Simon Theater, I was extolling all the virtues of New York City. Actually, I think it's still the best song about New York City. And it's very exciting to sing it, and very exciting just to hear the opening vamp. Another 100 people just got off of the train and came up through the ground, while another 100 people just got off of the bus and they're looking around at another 100 people who got off the plane and they're looking at us who got off of the train and the plane and the bus way we yesterday. It's a city of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. A city of strangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. But every day, the ones who stay can find each other in the crowded streets and the guarded bars, by the rusty fountains and the dusty trees with the battered bars. And they walk together as the poster walls with the crude remarks. And they meet at parties through the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there? Shall we let it go? Did you get my message? Cause I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? I'll go by you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off the train. It's a city of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. A city of strangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. And every day some go away. Or they find each other in the crowded streets and the guarded bars, by the rusty fountains and the dusty trees with the battered bars. And they walk together as the postered walls with the crude remarks. And they meet at parties through the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there? Shall we let it go? Did you get my message? Cause I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? I'll go call you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. Another 100 people just got off of the train. Must be crippled by now.
Long before this.
I know, I have to take out my larynx and soak it in some suave or something very soon. Oh, wow. Well, I was very, very lucky to have that song written for me by Mr. Sondheim. And it was thrilling. But I think there was a person who has introduced more songs to the American theater than anybody, and that was Ethel Merman. And she was terrific. When I was in college, my voice teacher took me to see her at Lincoln Center in the revival of Annie Get Your Gun. It was the first show I saw in New York. And I was just wowed. And in the years to come, I got to know her a little bit and be in a show with her in Los Angeles, a television show. Stan Freeman conducted for her. And I think all the belters of the world should unite in thanking Ethel Merman, because she made it all right not to be a soprano.
Very few of you belters left, right?
Oh, there's quite a few left.
Yeah, what, you, Boy George.
I love his clothes, though. Anyway, this was one of the songs that Ethel introduced. Life is peaches and cream in a fancy silver dish. Every spoonful is delish. Help yourself to what you wish. Life's a party, the table's set. Reach out and get your portion of romance and love, 'cause life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't make it serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. Keep repeating, it's the berry, the strongest of must walk. The sweet things in life, do you were just love. So how can you lose what you've never owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries. So live and laugh at it all. Keep repeating, it's the berries. The strongest oak must fall. Sweet things in life, do you just know? So how can you lose what you never owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries. So
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome, Stan.
Personally, I can't see her. Listen, those first notes of, wait till I put this. Okay. Those first few notes of Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries have been used in a lot of songs. There was Nothing Could Be Finer Than to Be in Carolina, right? Or K-Sons Go Rolling Along, ba 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 ba. What I'm trying to say is there's nothing new musically under the sun, obviously, and I'd like to try to prove that a little further with a song you all know called G for Two. Now, despite the enduring popularity of that song, Vincent Youmans did not write a particularly original melody. That melody had been used before. First, I think, as the accompaniment to a song called For Me and My Gal. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. They're jingle, and then they later used it in Though April Showers May Come Your Way. And they speeded it up, it became the Donkey Serenade. There's a song in the air, but the fair senorita. Well, I always like to speculate on what that song might have sounded like if other people had written it. Supposing Mozart, you never heard, if Mozart had written G for Two. Sophisticated style. You were lying there beneath the table, deep in your tea dance cup. Bored though I was, I soon was able to softly sigh. Get up. For we'd had tea for two, for brilliant me and radiant you. And we certainly got a jag on as we dyed old Lipton's bag on. I adored you and had your hand meticulous, though the whole affair was to might ridiculous. We sipped in secret sin what deceit manufactured, for I'd spiked your tea with gin. And soon we were somewhat fractured, but our little tempest in a teacup began and ended with a hiccup. I thought we'd raise a family, a boy for you, a boy for me. But fate had nothing more in store than tea for two, and wasn't that waiter stunning? Now, Rogers and Hammerstein, in their very folksy Oklahoma period, might have done it this way. Money don't grow on trees, leastways that's what everyone believes. But tea sure grows on trees, in funny, warm, and tender little tea leaves. Tea for two, I love you, Mary, Annie, Betty Lou. My, don't you look pretty? What if the cups are a little bit dirty? Tea for two is tea for me and tea enough for you. See that golden tea bag a-floatin'? Don't drink too much or you'll get a bloatin'. Pigs in their pens and horses in their stalls know that love comes bustin' out of tea balls. 'Cause tea is land, and land is people, and people is you and me, and that's how it's gotta be if we folks are gonna be free. Well, I never knew how to make it, but I'll try, by God, I'll try. I'll go out and boil it, or brew it, or bake it, or die. Kurt Weill had written these are the lyrics translated from the original German Bertolt Brecht. We sipped our tea in a seamy inn by the Baltic Sea. The tea was too hot for you, and so you spit it all over me. For years I loved you, and in return, you gave me your lips and your body, plus a third-degree burn. And now I walk through life, scarred and alone. I won't even have it known I own a telephone. I remember how you sat there, Johnny. It's always Johnny. So smug and placid, as I refilled your cup with tannic acid. And now you lie in your coffin, never to arise, with two small tea balls to weigh down your eyes. Never to dream now, never to awake, no more to nibble on my sugar cake. For years I took your crap, and now I'm free. And can't you see how happy I am? Oh, I loved you, you bastard. Oh, Jerry Herman. Picture you upon my knee. Okay, no, that's a T. Okay. Finally, oh, Stephen Sondheim might have written. I gotta stock up on a lot of salada, 'cause I'm having company for tea. Is having a sale on, some sale on, and we're having company for tea. Could be that Dainty she cooperates. I've heard that Orange Pico operates strangely. drive a person crazy. I'll drink to that. But what if what sends the girl reeling starts healing? Will she be my company for tea? It's a very long way from the girl who might say, make it scotch, make it gin. Yes, it's too long. To the girl who might stay for a toss in the hay and a taste of my flavorful oolong. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's really about. Tea is company, white rose company, Earl Grey company, tea is company. Have some tea, my lord, some chrysanthemum tea. And here's just about how everyone else has already written it. Everybody loves a baby, that's why I'm in love with pretty baby, pretty baby. They say that falling in love is wonderful. I've got you under my skin, and I get a kick out of you. You were meant for me, but they'll never believe me. They'll never believe me. My dear Miss Duchesne, please help me explain. Sing with the strings of my heart. You've gotta have heart. All we really need is heart. Curtain up, light the lights. We got nothing in it but the heights. What a day this has been. What a wreck I'm in. There's just one place for me near you. The night and day. You are the one. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. Well, we will raise a family. Boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we could be? Cause love is grand, love is fun, and love can't come to anyone with tea. 4, 2. Thank you. I adore a certain movie star, a certain lady that I think needs a lot more acclaim and accolades, stories, songs written about her. Very few movie stars actually do have songs written about them. There's Betty Davis' Eyes, and Peter Allen sings one about Judy Garland called Quiet Please with the Lady on Stage. This lady, I don't think ever had a song written about her, but she's glamorous and beautiful and fabulous. So I wrote a song. Anyway, this is it. Miss Fawcett and Miss Fairchild, Miss Derrick and Miss Lang, you've really grabbed a lot of hearts, done it with a bang. You're a pure, unalloyed delight. You're the faces, you're the fashion. But within me burning bright is an all-consuming passion for the one to whom I pray. And before I sleep, I say, how were things with this Zadora this fine day? Take your Rita, your Marilyn, take your Raquel, your Sophia. I'll take Pia. Go and venerate Venus or worship the fair Galatea. I'll parade a Pia. Let those smug critics rot, those who say all she's got is a brainless, talentless anatomy. All those venomous nerds will just choke on their words the night she walks up there and thanks the Academy. If you liked Judith Anderson doing her thing as Medea, picture Pia. Forget Marian Anderson singing the Ave Maria. Hark to Pia. I'd pursue her to Cairo, Corfu, or Korea, to Java, Gibraltar, Japan, or Judea, to Krakow, to Crete, get a carte de visite to the Crimea just to see her. Some guy might just to his bosom and bust take a Mia, as in Pharaoh. Another whose heart has just felt Cupid's dart take a Thea after removing the arrow, but after drinking in all of her charms and dreaming of quenching my thirst in her arms. I hear the bells, the alerts, the alarms, and though heaven forsake me, there's nothing can slake me until I can take me a Pia. One of my favorite theater pieces of all time is Sweeney Todd. And I'm very happy that Stephen Sondheim was the one that wrote it. He was here last night, as a matter of fact, and a little nerve-wracking doing this. At any rate, the reason I say this is because a lot of other composers had considered doing Sweeney Todd, notably among them Rodgers and Hammerstein. Now, they actually, you may not know this, they actually wrote a version, a score for Sweeney Todd. Then they thought better of it later on. They looked it over and they discarded the plot and the lyrics. They kept the music, changed the words around, and used that score eventually for The Sound of Music. But I was walking along the street one day and I happened to stop in a Dawson thrift shop and I found the score. The original Rodgers and Hammerstein score for Sweeney Todd, which you might like to hear, you might not like to hear. Anyway, and for those of you not familiar with the story, Sweeney Todd is a hairstylist who has been unjustly sent to prison by a certain Judge Turpin. And Sweeney is not out of prison 10 minutes, but he runs into Mrs. Lovett. Also, when he gets out, he vows to get revenge on just about everybody because he's very peaked. And he runs into Mrs. Lovett, who runs a pie shop in London. And Mrs. Lovett has always had the hots for Sweeney. She knew him a long time ago before he went to prison. So Mrs. Lovett suggests to Sweeney that he move in with her above the and set up his hair salon above the pie shop, and he thinks this is just wonderful. And she tried to entice him actually by singing this first original Rodgers and Hammerstein song that they wrote for Sweeney Todd. An ordinary couple, together you and I, we'll have it made. I'll strop your blade so you can slice my pie. A sight of Oscar Hammerstein I certainly was not aware of. Anyway, he finally moves in and sets up his hair salon above the pie shop. Now, the pie shop has been having problems because Mrs. Lovett makes the pies out of stray pussycats, and the fur balls keep getting caught in the customers' pies. So she suggests to Sweeney that he shave his customers a little more closely than is necessary. They'll grind up the remains and they'll make meat pies out of them. And Sweeney thinks this is just a great idea. And so, with the sweet smell of success in their nostrils, plus a few other unidentifiable odors, they frolic about the stage and they sing this next Rodgers and Hammerstein song. A, an arm, a juicy arm, B, a breastbone full of meat, C, a chin, a dimpled chin, D, a digit we can eat, E, an elbow to munch, F, a fingernail to crunch, G, some gum for after lunch. That'll lead us back to A. We've got the stove to prepare it in. We won't ask Mimi Sheridan. Slight anachronism there. Okay. Now, after Judge Turpin sent Sweeney to prison, he adopted Sweeney's daughter Joanna as his ward. Now, Joanna, as we articulate people are fond of saying, is a looker. And Sweeney gets his jollies by peeking into her bedroom window at night and watching her unbutton herself, all the while doing rather smarmy things to himself. And he's also fond of saying mea culpa quite a lot. Joanna knows all this about Judge Turpin, and she thinks it's pretty hysterical, and she sings, dropping my drawers in front of Judge Turpin, fondling my noogies and seeing him slurping. When he gets off, he's like Jello on springs. These are a few of my favorite things. Groping my girdle and grabbing my garters. Sometimes I camp in my corset for starters. Watching him drool as I loosen the strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Just to think he's feeling kinky makes me oh so sad. So I simply expose all his favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Well, now at the pie shop, it had been going well, but the health department is beginning to get very strange reports of cases of salmonella and flatulence and so on. So this song is a choral piece sung by all the diners. What are we going to do with Mrs. Lovett? How do you flip the switch that makes her click? How do you treat a flake like Mrs. Lovett? A flibberty-gibbet, a will-o'-the-wisp, she's sick. The portions are full, the plates are overflowing. But lately the food has really been the pits. Today in my casserole I found a hickey and a mole, plus a knuckle sporting some rather unpleasant zits. How do you treat a flake like Mrs. Lovett? How do you hold a fruitcake in your hand? Well, the barber shop is doing great, and before long, the hills are alive with the sound of screaming. Anyway, by the end of this thing, everybody in the cast has been done in, and the finale is sung by a stage full of dead people. You must remember this is a musical, and they all sing. There's a city on fire, there are rats in the grass, there are lunatics yelling too. And up in the garret there's a wee linnet bird that's popping out to say cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. So long, farewell, adieu and good night. We hope you all enjoyed this pretty sight. Those stoves were lit and people were devoured. Throats were slit and virgins were deflowered. The time is here to wind this little show up. Before I fear we just all gag and throw up. Good night. Thank you very much. You're all sick. Anyway. This next piece is a little song that Pam and I just started doing this thing last month, and we did this song. It was about the month, which was June, I guess, at the time. And it's a month later now. We realize that, but at these prices, we do not learn new material.
March went out like a lion, a-whipping up the water in the bay. Then April cried and stepped aside, and along came pretty little May. May was full of promises, but she didn't keep them quick enough for some. And a crowd of doubting Thomases was predicting that the summer'd never come. But it's coming by gum, you can feel it come. You can feel it in your heart, you can see it on the ground. You can hear it in the trees, you can smell it in the breeze. Look around, look around, look around.
What you say it is June comes around every year. June comes around every springtime. Just when your poor old heart can't go on its same. June weaves a basket full of dreams. And before you know it,
Look at the change in the weather. People are getting together.
Is
Walking in together.
the countryside is blooming. Two hearts are waltzing in swing.
Day speeds up the dawn and deer begin the morning. So wear a great big smile, 'cause after all the never
obvious June
is busted out.
all the sickle fireflies have begun to fertilize.
All over the meadow.
I even hear the Ayatollah brew a gladiola.
Boys and girls are lusting and they're playing in the bushes.
And the little buds are busting while the Robin River pushes. Every little wheel is wheeling.
With the wild and winding wheeling as they grind and roll around beside the mill.
Undeniably, June
It's busting out.
Well, Ron and Nancy diagnose all the goings on as gross.
The feeling is getting so
It's even got to Jerry Falwell. The man is not at all well.
Sheep that should be sleeping spend their time applying makeup.
And the Randy sheepers leap on their bones before they wake up.
Cause the rams that chase the ewe sheep are determined they'll be new sheep. And the ewe sheep aren't even keeping score.
Because it's June. Best beware of that knocked out moon.
Just because it's June, June.
Well, if you hear a flat soprano
Or detect a flat piano
and your world is just a little out of tune,
that's just because it's June, June, June. Ba, ba, ba.
yes. Oh, yes, we do. This is a sort of a mini opera we've
That's
concocted here.
actually more like a musical comedy.
Well, whatever. It's not a
Not
comedy.
really
It's
opera.
shattering. It builds to a tortuous climax, which will probably have you all dissolved in a pool of tears. Anyway, we'll do it, okay? Comedy. This is very sad.
Make it another old-fashioned, please. Make it another double old-fashioned, please. Make it for one who's due to join the disillusioned crew. Make it for one of love's new refugees. I take a deep breath, then in I walk. The drinks are watered, and so is the talk. But that's what the facts of life are. When you're starting all over in a singles bar. The gentlemen check me out with their eyes, like they were the runner and I was the prize. But that's how it is, the man is the star. When you're starting all over in a singles bar.
Right?
Hi. Scorpio.
Oh. Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. Let's see, earth and water. We can make beautiful mud together.
Listen, is there anything you'd like to hear? Any particular favorites or
Yeah, beat it.
a suggestion, a command? No, you can tell by looking at it. You can see by my visage that I am of the Stardust generation. So I'll learn it if you want, but right now
It's not necessary.
Okay.
What do you do anyway?
That's very nice. What do
I
I
mean,
do?
I mean during the daytime.
Oh, during the daytime. During the day, I am a shepherd.
Oh.
Old but honorable profession. I abide my flocks in the field. And what do you do?
I'm a stew.
Stewardess.
Yeah.
Stewardess on a plane.
Yes.
You got to be very brave. Planes just scare me to death.
Oh,
I
come
know.
on.
Well, I've been up in them. I know. A million times everybody says safe. You know. I'm sorry.
Oh,
They're
that's
terrified.
crazy. Planes are safer than cars
Yeah, I
or trains
know.
or anything.
Sure. I keep hearing that. Wrong.
It's the truth. truth. I just read about a train wreck in Texas.
What happened?
A plane fell on it.
But seriously, folks. I know that you're a Scorpio and I'm a Gemini, but it's closing time. I got white Chablis and red Bordeaux, gin and vodka, scotch and rye, and it's closing time. They're drafting the last beer here and they're turning up the lights. My apartment's pretty near here, and it might turn out all right. Look, I just want to say before you beat a quick retreat, I really don't come on like this with everyone I meet. But why beat around the bush when we both are bushed and beat? And it's closing time.
Here I go again.
She's not my type.
The girl who can't say no again.
So why the hype?
Blue.
Well, you can't have it all.
Taking a chance on
Besides, it's last call.
Here I slide again.
She's kind of sweet,
About to take that ride again.
and I'm in
And simply terrified
What it could be a
again.
ball.
Taking a chance on
Besides, it's last call. Look, I got one more tune to play, and then I'm through, and we could go if that's okay for you. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Just one chorus more to nurse my drink, forcing a smile, wondering what to think. It's high school again in the back of the car, when you're starting all over in a singles bar.
Last call. It's sort of become, how do I, de rigueur. I don't know what that means. I saw it in the back of an old Edith Piaf record.
Look at me.
Well, what I want to say is what expected for, when two people perform together to do one of those contrapuntal songs, you know, the kind that Irving Berlin writes. You're not sick, you're just in love, and play a simple melody. Well, we have not been doing that, and it's kind of silly last night, right? But we'd like to try it out on you. I wrote one. This is where Pam sings a chorus, I sing a chorus, and then they mesh together, you know.
Yeah.
And I just wrote it. We haven't had time to rehearse with the piano. We rehearsed sort of quickly downstairs. So, but I think it's
Got a lot of guts, right?
well, I think it should be fine. So
Well,
you're going to be our guinea pigs,
last
okay?
night, who cares?
It's called simply a two-part song, and oddly enough, okay. Here we go.
Okay.
You know.
There is nothing like a two-part song to bring two people closer together. Side by side, just singing along. Together you can brave the stormy weather. Struggling through a contrapuntal duet.
Serious.
You'll find that things will go wrong. So try it and you'll see just how lovely life can be when you're singing a two-part song.
If you're playing pool or you're playing polo, don't be a fool and sing a solo. Cupid likes it when two hearts are singing love songs and come to part. You will find you can banish trouble if you do everything on the double. So take a tip from the guy with the bow named Dan. Just sing a melody in two-part harmony. You'll find that fewer things will go wrong when you're singing a two-part song. And now comes the magic. If you're playing Lurie or playing posterity, sing a solo. You will like it when I think this needs a little work. I tell you, we might be back in the fall, so,
I don't like one.
okay, we'll work on this. Thank you for being so patient.
Maybe a little work with choreography, Stan.
With what?
Choreography,
Maybe.
that would save it.
I have a hard time standing on point for too long. Well, we sort of come to practically the end of our rope.
Yes.
Not only tonight, but this engagement, which has been lovely.
Yes, it's been wonderful. Thank you to everybody
We've
at
had some
Freddy's.
wonderful-
Freddie and Tom.
Yeah.
Makes up these wonderful lights for us, and
Yes, Tom, they've all been wonderful.
all the waiters and everybody.
Yeah.
Been
We've got some
terrific.
wonderful people in all week. As I said, Steve Sondheim was the last night. Phyllis
Yeah.
Diller. Who else has been on? Elaine Stritch and Margaret Whiting. We have a wonderful singer here tonight, Sylvia Sims over here.
Yes.
Your old friend. Oh, and yes, Connie Sawyer, of course, who we used to work together at the old Blue Angel.
Bonsoir.
No, Blue Angel. She worked at the Bonsoir. I never worked there. Anyway. Look, it's a funny thing. I look at you, I get a thrill I never knew. Isn't it a pity we never met before?
Here we are at last. It's like a dream. The two of us, a perfect team. And it's such a pity we never met before.
Imagine all those lonely years we wasted.
Fishing for salmon, losing at backgammon.
What joys untasted. My life was sour, spent with Schopenhauer.
Let's forget the past. Let's both agree that I'm for you and you're for me. And it's such a pity we never met
Hey, oh, friend, are you okay? Oh, friend, what do you say? Oh, friend, are we or are we unique?
Time goes by, everything else keeps changing. You and I, we get continued next
No,
week.
we're through as of tonight.
Old friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made, and in a picture they'll do. But us old friends, what's to discuss? Old friends, here's to us.
Here's to us,
The new ones. What would I do without you, Stanley? What would I do without you? When my brain is turning to flannel, available Stan will be there with my cue.
And what would I do without you, Peony? How would I ever get through? With singing duets, you're really a peach. You're there to hit the notes I couldn't possibly reach. I'm a big fan of Guess Who. You who still with me shares the bill with me.
You who waits for me, modulates for me. You who shares with me, you who bears with me, you. Nobody else will do. 'Cause isn't it warm? Isn't it rosy? Side by side. How tastefully the elbows rub here at Freddy's Supper Club. Ports in a store, comfy and cozy, side by side.
Except a few when they discover there's a small $10 cup.
What's impossible
Two is dreary. We got
company, safe and cheery, side by side, by side, by side, by side, by side, by side, by side. So, hey, old friends, why don't we stay? Old friends, till we can say, old friends, now an old friendship stays new. But us, old friends, what's to discuss? Old friends, here's to us. Who's like us? Damn you.
Thank you.
Miss Pam Myers and Mr. Stan Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.